Are you looking for the best sewing machines? In this video we will look at some of the 5 best sewing machines on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description. So make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Starting at number 1. Janome Memory Craft 9850. For those who are able to splurge on a high-quality machine, the Janome Horizon Memory Craft 9850 embroidery and sewing machine wowed us during our testing. Although it has a higher price tag, its capabilities and features make it well worth the price. It only took about 2 minutes to put this sewing machine together out of the box, making setup a breeze. The machine came with a helpful and detailed instruction manual, although we did have a bit of trouble figuring out the automatic needle threader. However, with some help from our expert, we were able to successfully thread the needle to use the machine. When using both the sewing and embroidery functions, the stitches looked professional and neat, and we were impressed that the stitches looked clean whether we guided the fabric or let it guide itself. We were also pleased with how precise the stitches were on denim, even though we didn't use a denim needle. Although it is more expensive, it has a variety of features that other sewing machines on our list don't have, making it a worthy machine to splurge on. Number 2. Brother XR 9550 Sewing and Quilting Machine. Setting up this machine was simple and straightforward, and we found that it was easy to thread the needle and the bobbin thanks to the quick start guide and user manual. The machine also comes with an instructional DVD for even more information. We were impressed with how well this sewing machine performed, and we found that the straight and zigzag stitches were even and neat. We tested 2 different buttonhole stitches, and both of them yielded a clean and consistent result. Additionally, we also tested 5 decorative designs and found that they were some of the most beautiful stitches we produced in our testing. Because this sewing machine was so easy to use, we noted it would be ideal for both experienced and beginner sewists. It's also available at a relatively reasonable price, given its performance and features. Keep in mind that with the quilting table, this sewing machine takes up a bit more space than other sewing machines we tested. Number 3. Brother 1034D Serger. Despite having no experience with threading sergers, we were able to thread it in about 15 minutes. The serger also came with a few accessories including metal tweezers, thread spool covers, extra needles, and a small plastic brush for cleaning the machine. While some sergers are large and can take up quite a bit of space, this one was comparable in size to other sewing machines we tested. It fit easily in our testing space, and it would also be able to fit onto a craft table or countertop. When testing the machine on fabric, we found that it was effective at serging edges. The stitches were evenly spaced and consistent in size, and the tension held up well. Sergers don't have buttonhole stitches or decorative stitches, but we did find that the flatlock stitch made hemming simple and easy. Sergers can have higher price tags, but this one is much more affordable than others on the market. We were impressed with its quality and ease of use, even though it has a lower price point. Number 4. Brother SA 600 Sewing and Embroidery Machine. The LCD touchscreen took some getting used to initially, but after referring to the user manual and playing around with the functions, we were able to figure out all of the features. Our first straight stitch didn't seem very high quality, but after adjusting the tension, both the straight and zigzag stitches were even and consistent. We also tested a decorative stitch and a buttonhole stitch, and while the decorative stitch turned out beautifully, the buttonhole stitch was a little lackluster. It seemed secure, but there were some bigger gaps in between a few stitches. However, we liked how easy it was to make the stitches since we just had to select the option on the touchscreen. The embroidery functions were also easy to operate, and we were quickly able to stitch a decorative alligator cartoon on our fabric. We did run into a hiccup in which thread was snagged under the needle plate, and the screwdriver that came with the sewing machine wasn't the right size to remove it. Number 5. Serger Heavy Duty Sewing Machine. If you frequently work with thicker fabrics like denim or canvas or want to learn how to mend your clothes, a heavy-duty machine may be the best sewing machine for you. The Serger Heavy Duty 4452 sewing machine has 110 stitch applications, a drop-in bobbin, a powerful motor, and more. To set up this sewing machine, we simply had to take it out of the box, remove the plastic, and plug it in. However, one of the biggest downfalls of this machine was that it didn't include an instruction manual, so we had to rely on our own knowledge and our expert to use it. There were some instructions on the website, but they weren't nearly as helpful as manuals that were included in other sewing machines we tested. We were able to comfortably use this sewing machine while sitting down, although we did have to stand up to wind the bobbin. The dials and switches were clearly marked and easy to use, so there wasn't any confusion about what the purpose of each dial was.